Hi, my name is Bernadette Smyth and I'm the founder and director of Precious Life in Northern Ireland. I'm doing this short video to ask for your help at this very important time in Northern Ireland. On Tuesday the 31st of March, the most inhumane and barbaric legislation, abortion legislation, will be introduced into Northern Ireland, allowing abortion right up to the very moment of birth for special needs unborn children. And when I talk about special needs unborn children, I talk about little children who have a cleft palate, a little child who has a club foot, a child with spina bifida, a child with Down syndrome, a child who has a life-limiting disability will be allowed to be aborted right up to the very moment of birth. Also, the new legislation will allow a child to be aborted because she is a girl or because he is a boy, because their parents didn't want another girl or didn't want another boy. This new legislation will allow abortion right up to the very 24th week of pregnancy. At a time when we know that little babies can survive as early as 20 weeks, abortion now in Northern Ireland will be allowed up to the 24th week of pregnancy for any reason. So we really need to pray, because this abortion legislation was forced on Northern Ireland against the wishes of the people and against the wishes of our elected politicians. It's the most undemocratic, inhumane and barbaric legislation in the whole of Europe. Overnight, Northern Ireland will become one of the most liberal places in Europe for anyone to have an abortion. Unborn children are no longer safe in their mother's wombs. If you're one, which I believe many of you are, thousands of you responded to the consultation from the UK government last year between November and December. When they asked for the views of the people during this consultation, you responded, I responded. And as a result of that consultation, 79% of the people of Northern Ireland said they did not want to see a change in the abortion legislation here. So our campaign is one of the 79%. Are you one of the 79% who are opposed to the change in our law here? Well, your voice needs to be heard at Stormont. Your voice needs to be heard at Westminster. We need to repeal this legislation before it's too late. The world is in the middle of a major crisis. A crisis that is taking the lives of many, many vulnerable people. The coronavirus is taking the lives of many, many people throughout the world. We can see this daily on our TVs. We're hearing the statistics. But abortion will take the lives of many, many more vulnerable children who cannot speak for themselves. We need you to be the voice for those who have no voice. We need you to speak up. Over the years, hundreds of thousands of you have signed petitions against any change in our law. Over the years, many of you have marched. Many of you have campaigned against any change in the law, and your voices have been ignored. You need to speak up. We need to speak up with one voice, and we need to say, repeal this legislation, for I am one of the 79% who opposed abortion being introduced in Northern Ireland. Thousands of you are out there. Thousands of your voices must be heard at this time. I'm asking you also to pray. Regardless of what faith you come from, you can pray. We all need to get active, prayerfully active, and call for God's special intervention. Over 55 million babies die a horrible death every year through abortion. This government wants Northern Ireland to join that death toll. But we are saying, this is not in our name. Abortion is not in our name. It's not in the name of the people, and it's not in the name of our politicians. I'm asking you to join me in praying a very important scripture, and that scripture is 2 Chronicles 7:14, and it contains an awesome promise. It says, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and I will forgive their sin, heal their land. In this landmark, in this hallmark passage, God calls a nation to pray. So I ask you to join me, implore God's mercy over our world, to ask forgiveness for the sin of abortion, and to pray that our unborn children will remain protected. Stay safe and God bless.